Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test.
The thoughts, opinions, reactions, and occasional side-eye expressed in this video are exactly that, opinions. If hearing criticism about artists you idolize or music you enjoy feels like a personal attack, emotional betrayal, sudden moral outrage, or an urgent need to defend strangers on the internet, please pause the video and call 1-800-GET-A-GRIP or consult your nearest deep breath. The host and his guest hold no legal responsibility for your feelings, nor are considering those feelings during the taping of said video. No artists were intentionally harmed during the recording. Sometimes the truth hurts, but generally the soft, feeble-minded, and elderly are the only ones at risk. Zealots and viewer discretion advised. Enjoy the show. Legal responsibility for your feelings, nor are considering those feelings during the taping of said video. No artists were intentionally harmed during the recording. Sometimes the truth hurts, but generally the soft, feeble-minded, and elderly are the only ones at risk. Zealots and viewer discretion advised. Enjoy the show. Legal responsibility for your feelings, nor are considering those feelings.
No need to ask, guess who steps in the building. Smash the
No artists were intentionally harmed during the recording. Sometimes the truth hurts, but generally the soft, feeble-minded, and elderly are the only ones at risk. Zealots and viewer discretion advised. Enjoy the show. Legal responsibility for your feelings, nor are considering those feelings.
No need to ask, guess who steps in the building? Smash the
No
subscribe in
artists
case
were
you're
intentionally
wondering.
harmed during recording. Sometimes the truth hurts, but generally the soft, feeble-minded, and elderly
The thoughts,
are the only ones at risk. Zealots and viewer discretion advised. Enjoy the show. Legal responsibility for your feelings, nor are considering those feelings.
No need to ask, guess who steps in the building? Smash the
No
subscribe in
artists
case
were
you're
intentionally
wondering.
harmed during recording. Sometimes the truth hurts, but generally the soft, feeble-minded, and elderly
The thoughts,
are the only ones at risk. Zealots and viewer discretion advised. Enjoy the show. Legal responsibility for your feelings, nor are considering those feelings.
No need to ask, guess who steps in the building? Smash the
No
subscribe in
artists
case
were
you're
intentionally harmed during recording. Sometimes the truth hurts, but generally the soft, feeble-minded, and elderly
the thoughts,
are the only ones at risk. Zealots and viewer discretion advised. Enjoy the show. Legal responsibility for your feelings, nor are considering those feelings.
No need to ask, guess who steps in the building? Smash the
No
subscribe in
artists
case
were
you're
intentionally harmed during recording. Sometimes the truth hurts, but generally the soft, feeble-minded, and elderly
the thoughts,
are the ones at risk. Zealots and viewer discretion advised. Enjoy the show. Legal responsibility for your feelings, nor are considering those feelings.
No need to ask, guess who steps in the building? Smash the
No
subscribe in
artists
case
were
you're
intentionally harmed during recording. Sometimes the truth hurts, but generally the soft, feeble-minded, and elderly
the thoughts,
are the ones at risk. Zealots and viewer discretion advised.
Mike, check, 1, 2, can't hear me, can't hear me.
Nor are considering those feelings.
No need to ask, guess who steps in the building? Smash the
No
subscribe in
artists
case
were
you're
intentionally harmed during recording. Sometimes the truth hurts, but generally the soft, feeble-minded, and elderly
the thoughts,
are the ones at risk. Zealots and viewer discretion advised.
Mike, check, 1, 2, can't hear me, can't hear me.
Nor are considering those feelings.
No need to ask, guess who steps in the building? Smash the
No
subscribe in
artists
case
were
you're
intentionally harmed during recording. Sometimes the truth hurts, but generally the soft, feeble-minded, and elderly
the thoughts,
are the ones at risk. Zealots and viewer discretion advised.
Mike, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can't hear me.
No need to ask, guess who steps in the building? Smash the subscribe in case you're
Intentionally harmed during recording. Sometimes the truth hurts, but generally the soft, feeble-minded, and elderly
the thoughts,
are the ones at risk. Zealots and viewer discretion advised.
Mike, check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
the thoughts,
Mike, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2.
the thoughts,
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear that beatbox? Can you hear that beatbox? My beatboxing skills. Mic check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear that beatbox? Can you hear that beatbox? Check 1 2 1 2. Mic 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 check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. That might be too loud. That seems too loud. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Volume is better. Volume is better. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. That might be too loud. That seems too loud. This audio shit has always blown my mind. Volume is better. Volume is better. That's what I like to hear. Figure it out. That's what I like to hear. 1 2 1 2. Mic check, mic check, mic check. 2 1 2. That might be too loud. Beatbox. That seems too loud. This audio shit has always blown my mind. It's better. Volume is better. Never in my life figure it out. That's what I like to hear. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Rap mic check. Mic check. 2 1 2. That might be too loud. Beatbox. That seems too loud. This audio shit has always blown my mind. It's better. Volume is better. Never in my life figure it out. That's what I like to hear. Okay, volume is good. Volume is good. Mic check. Rap mic check. Mic check. 2 1 2. That might be too loud. Beatbox. Peace, 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 family. It's your boy OG. It's been a long time, but I am back. Blown my mind. It's better. Volume is better. Never. There must be a reverb. I don't know what to do about that shit. Okay, volume is good. Volume is good. Rap mic check. Mic check. 2 1 2. That might be too loud. Peace, 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 family. It's your boy OG. It's been a long time, but I am back. Blown my mind. It's better. Volume is better. There must be a reverb. I don't know what to do about that shit. Okay, volume is good. Volume is good. Rap mic check. Mic check. 2 1 2. That might be too loud. Peace, 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 family. It's your boy OG. It's been a long time, but I am back. Blown my mind. It's better. Volume is better. There must be a reverb. I don't know what to do about that shit. Okay, volume is good. Volume is good. Rap mic check. Mic check. 2 1 2. That might be too loud. Peace, 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 family. It's your boy OG. It's y'all still got an echo? But I am still echoing. My mind is better. Volume is better. There must be a reverb. I don't know what to do about that shit. Okay, volume is good. Volume is good. Rap mic check. Mic check. 2 1 2. That might be too loud. Peace, 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 family. It's your boy OG. Y'all still got an echo? But I am still echoing. My mind is better. Volume is better. There must be a reverb. I don't know what to do about that shit. Okay, volume is good. Volume is good. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2.
It's a repeat.
Peace, 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 family. It's your boy OG. Y'all still got an echo? But I am still echoing. My mind is better. Volume is better. There must be a reverb. I don't know what to do about that shit. Okay, volume is good. Volume is good. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2.
It's a repeat.
Peace, 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 family. It's your boy OG. Y'all still got an echo? But I am still echoing. My mind is better. Volume is better. There must be a reverb. I don't know what to do about that shit. Okay, volume is good. Volume is good. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2.
It's It's a repeat.
Test, 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 test. We trying to get that. DJ Ray is up in here. What up, bro? Y'all still got an echo? But I am still echoing. There must be a reverb. I don't know what to do about that shit. Okay, volume is good. Volume is good. Mic check. 1, 2.
It's a repeat.
Test, 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 test. We trying to get that. DJ Ray is up in here. What up, bro? Y'all still got an echo? But I am still echoing. There must be a reverb. I don't know what to do about that shit. Okay, volume is good. Test, test, test. We working on it. We working on it. Trying to figure this out.
It's a repeat.
Test, 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 test. We trying to get that. DJ Ray is up in here. What up, bro? Y'all still got an echo? But I am still echoing. There must be a reverb. I don't know what to do about that shit. Okay, volume is good. Test, test, test. We working on it. We working on it. Okay, let's figure this out.
It's a repeat.
Test, 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 let's test, see.
test.
We trying to get that. DJ Ray is up in here. What up, bro? Y'all still got an echo? But I am still echoing. There must be a reverb. I don't know what to do about that shit. Okay, volume is good. Test, test, test. We working on it. We working on it. Okay, let's figure this out.
It's a repeat.
Test, 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 let's test, see.
test.
We trying to get that. DJ Test, Ray test, is up mic in check, here. What up, mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check, 1 2 1 2. It's back. The echo is back. Test, test, test. We working on it. We working on it. Okay, let's figure this out.
It's a repeat.
Test, 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 let's test, see. Test. We're trying to get that. DJ Test, Ray test, is up mic in check, here. What up? mic
So
check,
Poppy,
1 2
I
1
am
2,
great.
mic check,
My brother,
1 2
I
1
am
2.
great.
It's back. The echo is back. Test, test, test. We working on it. We working on it. Okay, let's figure this out. Test, 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 let's test, see. Test. We're trying to get that. DJ
Test,
Ray
test,
is up
mic
in
check.
here. What up?
Mic
So
check,
Poppy,
1 2
I
1
am
2.
mic check,
My brother,
1 2
I
1
am
2.
great.
Let's see if this switch happens. It's back. The echo is back. Test, test, test. We working on it. We working.
It's a
on it.
loop. It's a
Okay,
loop.
let's figure this out. Test, 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 let's test, see. Test. We're trying to get that. DJ
Test,
Ray
test,
is up
mic
in
check.
here. What up?
Mic
So
check,
Poppy,
1 2
I
1
am
2.
mic check,
My brother,
1 2
I
1
am
2.
great.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic
Let's
check,
see if
1
this
2 1
switch
2.
happens.
Let me
It's
know
back.
what you hear. The echo is back. Test, test, test. We working on it. We working
It's a
on it.
loop. It's a
Okay,
loop.
let's figure this out. Test, 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 let's test. See. We're trying to get that. DJ
Test,
mic
test,
check,
mic
1
check.
2.
Mic
So
check,
Poppy,
1 2
I
1
am
2.
mic check.
My brother,
Intergalactic
I am
Wolf
great.
says it's okay. Mic check,
now.
1 2 1 2. Mic
Let's
check,
see if
1
this
2
switch
1 2.
happens.
Let me
It's
know
back.
what you hear. The echo is back. Anybody else? Let me know. We working on it.
It's a loop. It's a loop.
Let's figure this out. Test. Not okay again. We still got a loop. Two. Poppy, I am mic check. Intergalactic Wolf says it's okay. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic
Let's
check,
see if
1
this
2 1
switch
2.
happens.
Let me
It's
know
back.
what you hear. The echo is back. Anybody else? Let me know. We working on it.
It's a loop. It's a loop.
Let's figure this out. We still got a loop. Not okay again. We still got a loop. Two. Poppy, I am mic check. Intergalactic Wolf says it's okay. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me know what you hear. The echo is back. Anybody else? Let me know.
It's a loop. It's a loop.
We still got a loop. Not okay again. We still got a loop. Two. Poppy, I am mic check. Intergalactic Wolf says it's okay. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me know what you hear. Just when you thought it was fixed. Anybody else? Let me know.
It's a loop. It's a loop.
We still got a loop. Not okay again. We still got a loop. Intergalactic Wolf says it's okay. Mic check, mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me know what you hear. Just when you thought it was fixed. Anybody else? Let me know.
It's a loop. It's a loop.
We still got a loop. Not okay again. We still got a loop. Intergalactic Wolf says it's okay. Mic check, mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me know what you hear. Just when you thought it was fixed. Anybody else? Let me know.
It's a loop. It's a loop.
We still got a loop. Not okay again. We still got a loop. Intergalactic Wolf says it's okay. Mic check, mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me know what you hear. Just when you thought it was fixed. Anybody else? Let's see. Mic check. 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me know what you hear. If it's working, if it's not. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. 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 We in business? Are we in business? Are we in business? Am I too loud? Too quiet? Boom. I knew I figured it out. Peace, 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 people, peace. What's going on? What's the word of the day? Volume a little low. Let's see if we can turn it up a little bit. Let's see if we can crank that up a little bit. Yes, it has been a whole minute. Yes, indeed. I hope everybody is well. Just a kind of update on, me and kind of what's been going on. Many of you, some of you may not even know who the hell I am. You know what I mean? So I don't make any. So I see and hear. I see some familiar faces and some familiar names, and so I'm always glad to see people that have ridden with me for a little bit. Yeah, so me personally, I have been on a grind like I've never been before, and it's been a good one. Many of you know that, I popped up on XG probably in late 2024, probably around 2024. And, immediately was hooked, probably like most people who kind of discovered XG. And, for much of 2025, it was just kind of catching up on who these young women were. And so, I'd done reviews of the videos and the preamble to their career, the whole video set. Created a whole live experience with many people that are here and many people that probably aren't here. And we talk about XG and even other stuff like K-pop and stuff like that. But one thing that happened during the process is I gained this kind of new found affinity not even, I wouldn't say a newfound. It was a return found affinity for music again, and it was really inspired by XG. And um, when I created the channel, it's funny because when I created the channel, um, see if I can look at you guys a little bit more. When I created the channel, uh, I I wanted to create like an intro or some shit for, um, for the channel. You know what I mean? So I fell into the AI kind of music creation thing, right? Where I created this song for the channel, right? And it was pretty dope, you know what I mean? For a first time person who was trying to make AI music, it was, it was more of a learning process, right? And um and so I created the song, and then all of a sudden AI was kind of blowing up at the time, and so I was just like, well, damn, maybe I can create like a little video for it, and then make something that kind of can be an intro video to the channel, or make a music video for the song or whatever. So I did that, and in hindsight, it was what it was for somebody who, first time was messing with AI, right? And so, um, I created that video, and people said, "Oh, it was good," or "It was trash," or "It was something." You know what I mean? Same with the song, right? But it definitely inspired some kind of creative thing inside me. I don't know what it was, but it definitely kind of triggered some kind of creative thing. And so ultimately I got into AI music, right? Now, I know people have different opinions about um, the AI music, and ultimately I don't care what anybody's opinion is of it. I enjoy doing it, right? Which is, for me, um partly what's most important, right? At this stage in my life, I want to be doing things that I enjoy, and so I started doing the AI music, created an AI avatar for it, and again, was just kind of playing around. I really wasn't kind of like serious about it. And I don't even know if I'm serious about it. Well, no, I am. Let me not pretend like I'm not serious about it. But I will say that since then, what has happened is that with the AI music, I have put out two singles, a full length album. I mean, two singles, an EP, and a full length album, right? Sage Music, who is my avatar that sings the songs or whatever, has garnered over 150,000 streams over the last year. Right, we started, I'd say a little bit before Thanksgiving of last year. I would say mid last year. So, in a year's time, she's gotten 150,000 streams. She probably got over 100,000 followers on social media. Has a website that people have. She has a little tribe, right, of people that support and love the music and blah blah blah. And so that's been pretty dope to kind of be a part of, and kind of create and do. So much so that I also created a education platform or school around AI music. And so I have probably about 100 members, a little over 100 members who have joined the community. And there I built kind of a community of people that are trying to create good AI music, right? Because, just like real music, there's plenty of AI slop out there being created. And so, ultimately, this group of people have gotten together and joined my school, and have been creating music and learning how to create different music. And it's kind of broadened into other areas. But it's been fun, right? And that's really kind of a testament to, I think, and I give credit to XG and kind of them um, inspiring that creativity in me. You know what I mean? And so I'm indebted, almost indebted to the girls as far as being able to kind of at this stage of my life re-inspire me to, you know, um, do my thing. And so it's been super dope, right? Um, the other reason why, busy is part of the reason why I haven't done videos or done lives of late. The other reason is just because I've kind of fallen off the XG bandwagon, right? And that's just to be honest. Many of you know that I was not necessarily pleased with the album, right? And I would argue, and part of these lives that I'm going to be doing, because I'm going to start doing lives again, but it's going to be less like what I was doing in before, and it's gonna be more of kind of my soapbox kind of live type thing, where I'm gonna be talking about shit that probably other people probably won't talk about. And that may work for some people and it won't work for other people, and that's okay as well. But I definitely have not invested as much ear time to XG as I did, right? And that is directly correlated into what I would say was, I would argue, a poorly constructed album, right? And one of my least favorite songs on the album, I wouldn't even say one of, it is the least favorite song on this album, is this O.R.B song. Least favorite, hands down, right? And part of the reason, well, let me backtrack, because I would say that if you've been paying attention to the XG, what's been going on with XG over the last, I would say, few months, I would say that the trajectory has flattened, and I think is being kind. I would say that trajectory has gone down, but to be fair, I would say it's flattened. It definitely is not continuing to go up, much like what I said in my album review. I personally thought that this album was detrimental, right, to the trajectory. Not necessarily for them to be able to make money and feed the fans, right? But the trajectory, I think it was a hindrance, right? And I don't think anybody could argue that, right? And if you could, you are a fan, maybe borderline zealot, right? And, that's okay as well. But, if you're just paying attention to, there's no critical acclaim to the album as far as awards, as far as, people giving it the kind of attention that their prior songs did. They've been on this worldwide tour that, in my opinion, is a total money grab by the company, right? Because they've been basically nonstop, right? They had a little bit of a break after the Tokyo performance, where Simon got married. They took a little time off, but it was a very little bit of time. They have literally been on the road performing for the last 2 years, right? And if anybody knows performers, right, they know how hard that is, right? They know how, if you know anybody that has toured for an extensive period of time, that is not, like, touring is for a long period of time. It's not a choice you make. It's either somebody else's decision, or you are really, really, really desperate to fill the bank, right? And so, and just all the changes, whether it was the app now becoming, this monetary kind of everything being exclusive to the app, and so the fandom that you used to feed on YouTube just doesn't get fed the way they were fed. So that I think hindered and damaged the trajectory of the group. I think because Simon made the mistake that he made, the course in which XG finds himself on is one that many, many, many groups historically have found themselves on. Is their company is slaving them away to the point where they break down. And they're professionals, so again, their fans are always gonna smile, show love, do whatever. But eventually, it always happens. That story always comes out later where, a member of the group leaves and they talk about all the dirty stuff that came out or whatever. And I know just even in my algorithm, XG just doesn't pop up the way that it used to. Now, maybe that's me, but it definitely, there's not much stuff. Unless you're an alpha, unless you pay, right? You don't get the same kind of XG thing that you got in the past, right? And so, that is part of the reason why I haven't kind of, just I haven't necessarily dug in to a lot of the stuff, because they just haven't had much stuff for me to dig into, and the stuff that is left to dig into, I don't really like. You know what I mean? I just don't. I'm just not vibing to it, right? And I think it's I personally think that the album was lazy, right? I think the album was lazy. And again, I don't, that's not to question the hard work that went into putting the album together, right? But the album feels to me like just a regurgitation of genres and music that people have heard. Now, maybe their international audience needed that, right? But based upon what they had given us with all the songs before, and even more importantly, all the like tapes and voxes and stuff, what they were dancing to, what they were singing, what they were rapping, this mode doesn't fit that, right? And to me, right? And so for me, that made it hard to adjust to, right? Now, maybe this is just a bump in the road. I hope so. But in my opinion, it's too early for this bump in the road. They were catapulting. They were going this way, right? And now I don't hear much about XG. I don't hear much about, acclaim of the album, acclaim of the music. I don't hear about them as much, and that's disappointing, because for me, I am a fan of the girls. I know how talented the girls are. I know how good they sing, how good they dance, and how good they rap, right? And so for me, this is not necessarily about them per se. It's about all the shit around them. And, just haven't been inspired by them as inspired as I was, right? Now, again, I'm one person, and I don't expect everybody to have the same opinion, and I appreciate other people's opinions around it, but I am steadfast that this was a hindrance, and that this album was lackluster at best. And I think the records show, right, is documented, like they are not on the same trajectory that they were on, right? You're hating. Yeah, I mean, you can call it hate if you want. I mean, I got no reason to hate. I don't win or lose for their winning or losing, right? I got no reason to hate on the girls. Actually, I have an affinity for the girls, um, and um, they just haven't. They this music, this music just didn't hit for me. For me, if it hit for you, beautiful. I'm glad. But arguably, based upon their desire to, uh, their desire to move into a market um, that accepts what they do, you can't. At least that was the plan. That was Simon's plan. I'm going to move them to America. The music that they're creating is very much about that American taste bud. Let's see if we can conquer it. That album was not it by any stretch of the imagination. And this song, this song is it. Again, in my humble opinion, is the worst song they've ever made. The worst song that they've ever made. Let me see what y'all talking about. Absolutely. Listen, bro, I don't need nobody to agree with me, right? I don't need that. And if you have an opinion or if you have something that is contrary to my statement that I can be aware of that changes my thought, please do. They were they at the most recent Coachella? Because there was another Coachella since the one they did, right? Jurin's inspiring. Jurin's dope. Of course. Of course. Listen, y'all listen, XG will be able to do shows for the next 5 years. For the next 5 years, they will be able to. They wouldn't even have to put out another album. They'd be able to do shows, right? Now, would they be able to sell out a stadium or sell out what's under or over a stadium? No, they wouldn't. Particularly in America, they wouldn't. They wouldn't be able to, right? They were on course to being able to sell out something here that was bigger than usual. But then this album hit. Then Hypnotic hit. And what was the song before Hypnotic? What's HITC? What's that? Head in the Clouds? And I wonder why they weren't at Coachella this year. Were they not invited? Do people just not go to Coachella every year? How does that work? PS 118 was good. It was good. It was good. It was a good B-side song. That's what PS 118 was. And in any festival they can come to, like, y'all are giving them credit for stuff that they're already shown improved. Like saying anything about their performance or their ability to perform is falling on deaf ears, because we already know what XG is capable of doing. right? We already know how good they are at performing, probably better than most, right? And that's why they'll be able to perform for a long time, as long as they want to, right? But the reality is that performance part of their job, career, aspiration, goals, whatever, is a small piece to the puzzle. Small piece to the puzzle. They could go to any festival and perform along with a bunch of other great acts and hold their own. No problem, right? Yeah, and I want to be clear that this is not, I don't know if you've caught up with OG, but I am not an alpha, right? I am a black man who popped up on XG, fell in love with the girls in their music, and their relationship with me was very dependent on their ability to continue to produce great music and deliver great energy, right? That last album just didn't hit for me, right? Now, I want to talk about O.R.B. because I think that is the important part of why I even wanted to get on live as opposed to just making a video and ranting, right? I wanted to see what other people thought of the song. Thought you might have saw the video. I haven't seen the video. I haven't seen the video yet, but I'd love to know what you guys thought of the video. But even more so, the song, in part just because I have a very strong opinion about this song, right? And again, it's mine, right? I don't expect other people to have mine, right? So O.R.B, when I first heard it, I'm trying to keep up with y'all's. Oh, so they did win some awards for Gala and Hypnotized. Good. I know for certain they didn't win any awards or get any nominations over here for it. And so if they did get something in Japan, then well deserved, because in my opinion, they put Japan on the map as far as music goes. You know what I mean? And I don't know much about Japanese music or artists that come from Japan, but they deserved awards long before Gala and Hypnotize. So anyway, so with O.R.B, now I get it, right? O.R.B is a nod to early 90s, what would you call that music? Grunge rock or whatever. Blink 182, Avril Lavigne, whomever, right? And it is also a nod to Kokona, right? So it's an appreciation for who Kokona is to them, right? So I get all that. I don't need the education around, what O.R.B represents to them, or what they were trying to say. Pop punk. Yeah, I think that's a good analogy of it, right? But here's the thing about O.R.B. When I first heard it, for me, I couldn't help but cringe when I listened to it, right? Cringe, actually hard to listen to beyond just the ears, right? It was hard to listen to beyond just kind of what music was going on, because of all the cultural significance in that song that I know many people are not aware of or care about, right? And I get that, right? I know that much of what people who are non-black experience from music, particularly hip hop, R&B, or groups that try to represent that. I know that they don't care about the cultural significance of the music that is coming out, right? But here's the thing about black folks is we can't help but ignore. We can't help but hear it and listen to it. And that's why it was so cringy to me, right? And part of the reason why it was so cringy to me, it was all the bros, all the brohemes and the brothers and all of that stuff that people do in songs that don't really understand cultural idioms. People just don't understand cultural idioms for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's convenience, right? But cultural idioms are a real thing, and every single culture has them. But what happens with black culture, because out of black culture has come some of the most popular worldwide music. R&B, hip hop are arguably the most popular musics in the globe. Arguably the most popular music on the globe, right? And so what people do, right? And this is why the song concerned me, is because, you know, black culture is like a costume for many people. They put it on when it equates them being successful. But do they really support black culture? Generally, no. Most of the world is anti-black. Most of the world, right? And so when you hear stuff like this as a black person who likes the girls, who loves the girls' music, and who has paid attention to the stabbing of cultural appropriation at the girls, right? I've watched it, I've heard it, I've seen it, right? I've seen the girls get accused of it, right? And what happens is that when you are not aware of it, you can't expect for black folks to support it. Now, maybe that's important to you, maybe it's not. But when you're doing hip hop, when you're doing R&B, when you're doing that stuff, my argument is that you may need to consider it. All the bros, all the brothers, all the stuff is the costume that people put on to play black. And yes, people would say in the comments, oh, well, they were saying that in college frats, and people say that. Of course, that's what black culture has turned into. It has turned into the thing that people say all over the world. It's the costume that people put on when they want to fit in, when they want to look cool, when they want to sound cool, when they want to feel whatever. That's what happens. They put it on. Look at artists like Post Malone, right? I'm gonna give you an example. Look at Post Malone. Post Malone, right? When he came out, he wore the black costume like nobody has ever worn it before. No, I wouldn't say like nobody, because there's plenty of people. Like nobody has ever worn before, right? And and if anybody is paying attention to it, we know why he wore that costume. It's because that was his way in. That was his way in. Now who is Post Malone? Mike, I'm talking. You go watch the video somewhere else if you want to. When it was comfortable, when he got success, he switched it up. Now now he didn't need the costume. Okay, congratulations, black people. A lot of black people don't like white people or Hispanics. Who cares? Oh, ignorance is bliss up in here, and I enjoy it. I love that. I love ignorance. You know what I'm saying? That is dope. The reality is that we've watched, as people of color, right, take advantage and capitalize on the music, and then pretend to be a part of it by celebrating or dressing like black folks or rapping or whatever, right? But any real acknowledgement, any real pay, do you have any black people around you even? Do you have any black people in your video? Hell no. It's because you're just doing the black thing until it serves you. And that's why it will always be a thing. And that's my problem with this, because I wanted XG to be able to escape that cultural appropriation bubble that they were getting pushed in. Listen, I don't expect anybody. Listen, I know as much. I don't know, Hustle Jack, what race you are. I'm assuming you might be a person of color. I don't know. But I don't expect anybody that's not black to understand. That's not even why I'm on my soapbox right now. I don't give a fuck about you understanding, right? If you learn something, then great, right? But if you understand, that's not important to me, right? And because I know that for most people, it's not important to them, right? Cultural idioms, taking advantage of a culture, manipulating, capitalizing on culture. I know that that's not important to most people. People just want to dance and hear good music, and that's good, right? Go do that. If that's your thing, you go do that. But the reality is that if you're honest about it, you know that what I'm talking about is some real shit. It's not the same with every culture, though, DJ, right? It's not. It's just not, right? If it was the same, that there's no other culture, right? There's no other culture that doesn't have their own music that they can point to. Black people don't culturally appropriate. They don't do that. Everybody does that for black people, but black people, and I'm making a general statement because some people do, right? But black people generally, they just don't do that, right? Everybody can go back to their origin. You know, if you're Mexican, you can go back to traditional music, traditional cultural idioms, and all that stuff. If you are Italian, you can go back to your own country's significance in entertainment or popular culture or whatever, right? You can do that. Black people can't. So what black people have done, or what people have done, is they've capitalized on black creation. That's what they've done. They've capitalized on black creation, and they've manipulated it, and they've put on the costume. Much of K-pop is that. I didn't know nothing about K-pop before XG. Nothing. You couldn't have told me a K-pop artist, a K-pop song. I had heard about it before, but I thought K-pop. Joel, you are an idiot, bro. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, then Joel, you are a fucking idiot. If you don't understand what you don't understand what cultural appropriation is. You clearly don't. Most people don't. Unfortunately, they think it's about kind of overt kind of I'm taking something or whatever. It's about representation. It's about erasure. You know what erasure is? Wu-Tang doesn't appropriate Asian culture? Absolutely not.
You know what the difference between Wu-Tang is and most? Is that Wu-Tang doesn't try to be Asian. They don't put on Chinese garb. They don't try to speak it. What you see with Wu-Tang is that when you listen to a Wu-Tang album, you hear the original movie clips. You will watch their video. You will see Chinese people in their videos. You don't see them pretending to be Chinese. Right? Cultural appropriation is about erasure. It's about not representing. It would be appropriation if Wu-Tang tried to speak Chinese and wore the garb of karate or whatever. Right? That's part of what cultural appropriation is. So when you see people dressed in their baggy pants and their jerseys or their whatever, right? That's borderline cultural appropriation because that's not anything traditional to who you are. Wu-Tang always showed up as themselves and supported what they enjoyed by bringing it with them. That's not cultural appropriation. Cultural appropriation is taking without bringing them with you. And that's what you see with K-pop. You see that with K-pop. Hands down. I don't know if y'all saw, what's the popular K-pop group? I don't know. What's the most popular male K-pop group? I can't think of their name. Damn. I was gonna make a video about them as well. Somebody will say their name, but so they had whatever this group is, right? K-pop group, biggest K-pop group ever, right? They recently had a video come out, right? Or not a video. They were releasing their most BTS. Thank you, BTS. Why can't I think of that fucking name? So BTS has a new album coming out, right? And the new album is a nod to the Korean refugees that made it over to America, right? And because of the racism in America, right? They found themselves in one of the only supportive places that they could find. You know where that place was? The historically black college, Howard University. That's where they found home. That's where they found welcome. And that's pretty consistent with black culture in America, right? If you want to feel safe anywhere in America as a foreigner, trust me when I tell you, come to the black community, right? That's where you go. If you're a child, whatever, you get lost, come to the black community. You'll be safe there. Trust me. Listen, I can appreciate. Let me get back on my stance, and I'll respond to some of that shit. So BTS, right? So they were paying homage to these 7 Koreans that made it to America at Howard University, right? On their album cover, right? Now, again, if you are not in America, you might not know much about historically black colleges, particularly in, you know, the 70s, 60s, whenever it was, right? You may not know much about it, but what up, Manny? But what you'll know is that it's a college of all black people. The reason why historically black colleges exist is because white folks didn't want black folks in their colleges. So we had to make our own. So that's how Howard and many of the black colleges came to be, right? So the Koreans found themselves there. So BTS makes right. That's right, Hustle Jack. I mean, again, I'm on my soapbox. It's not about convincing me right now, right? So anyway, you wanted to have a conversation. That's not what this is. We can have conversation, but that's not what this is right now. So BTS makes this album, right? And on the cover of the album, you have these 7 Koreans, right? You have these 7 Koreans who are standing on the campus of Howard University, right? And they're surrounded by white people. Howard University, if you know what Howard University is, it's a historically black college. There may have been 1 or 2 white people in the college, right? But on BTS's cover or whatever the promotion is, right? You will find a album cover full of white people. Now here's what that says to black people. You don't have to care about it if you're not black, right? You don't have to care about it. You should, but you don't have to. And black people don't expect you to. I don't expect you to. So in this conversation, I don't expect you to give a fuck about it, right? But I do expect black people to be aware of what's going on, right? Because the reality is that all that is cultural appropriation. It's trying to erase black folks. How can you erase black folk from a historically black college? And I'll tell you another thing about Asian music or Asian folks in general when it comes to here and abroad. They can be as anti-black as many white people. Stop, Dosavelli, whoever you are, bro. Stop being so simple-minded, bro. Right? Like it's an analogy, dummy. Right? Like I'm giving you an analogy of what's going on. Right? Maybe you're smart enough to know it already, and so you don't need to be here. But if you do, then learn something. I know it's not a BTS video. If you want to watch the video, go watch it. If you don't want to hear what I got to say, bounce. And that's for anybody in the chat, really. You know what I'm saying? We not on the time that we are anymore, just because, again, I've learned who K-pop and all this music is going on. And so this O.R.B is only an extension of this. It's not appreciating what cultural idioms are, right? And that's what saddens me about it, is because I don't want that for the girls. I want the black community to embrace XG. That's what I want, because they're so talented and because I truly believe that they do have a love and appreciation, right? But you can't be on that shit and expect the love, generally speaking. You will have a couple of anti-black people, because that's a thing too, right? You will have a couple of ignorant black folks who don't know better, or who are just willing to accept whatever, right? That's a thing as well, right? But ultimately, I am a black man. And so that's where my love goes first. Do you know why the skinheads shave their heads? Why? Is this a joke? Is this a knock-knock joke? Absolutely. You don't have to agree. I've said that from the beginning. I don't expect you to agree. As a matter of fact, if you're not black, I expect you not to agree. That's the expectation, right? If you are a non-black person, right, my expectation is that you will not understand, that you will not agree, and that you will think that what I'm on is some bullshit. That's the expectation. So don't think for a minute that if you are non-black, that I'm looking for you to give me some kind of head nod. I'm not, by any stretch of the imagination. That's not what this is, right? I'm just saying that if you ever want to know why black people respond the way they respond to music, people's music, how other people do things, right? Then this might be a good place to start. If you don't care, if you never concerned, if it's never concerned you, then that's okay too. It's not an expectation that you did or you would, right? I'm just plainly saying that O.R.B. touched a nerve with me, right? And it touched a nerve in large part because I don't want to see the girls in that light, particularly with people of color, black folks, whose music they do so well. So please understand where it's coming from, right? That it's coming from a place of, I respect the girls, I respect what they do, I think they're incredibly talented. At the same time, I do not want them to have to bear the burden of this ignorance that goes on, because I know that they're just singing and dancing. I know that they don't write the song. They didn't write the song. Arguably, they might have. You know what I'm saying? Let me not say I know. But my guess is that they didn't write the song. They just said they wanted something like that, right? And then somebody said, oh, this would be cool if we said bro a whole bunch of times and brother. And, come on, bro. You ain't got to do that. You don't have to do that. They're too talented for that. So ultimately, again, you take what I'm saying for whatever, however you want to take it. I don't give a fuck, right? Like, honestly, I don't. I'm just saying that as a black man, I am aware of how people have manipulated, taken advantage of, and capitalized on black culture by putting on this facade, this costume of blackness, right? Of culture, right? Without truly understanding what they were representing. Truly representing, right? And so that's what it is, right? And so if that is something that you can acknowledge, because again, you know, when it comes, you know, a part of the thing is race is an uncomfortable conversation for people to talk about, right? But it's probably the most important conversations to be had globally. It's probably the most important conversations to have. Because if we realized that we were more the same than we are different, then we'd be a lot more respectful to what people bring to the table. You'd be a lot more respectful. You'd be a lot more appreciative. You'd be a lot more acknowledging of it, right? As opposed to standoffish about it because you don't understand it, because you're afraid of it, because you're intimidated by it, or because you're just ignorant. And again, ignorance doesn't make you stupid, right? It just makes you not know something, period, right? And so don't get caught up in my world, right? Thinking that what's most important to me, I'm not going to say nothing about. You in my world, right? And you're welcome not to be here. I appreciate you if you are here. Trust me when I tell you, right? Like the names I've seen pop up, I am incredibly appreciative because they've been around, right? But listen, you dealing with a black man, period, right? Who has just learned what this K-pop, Asian pop, whatever XG is doing pop. XG love and respect the culture though. Yeah, love and respect is different to different people, right? It's different to different people. And what black people, and again, unfortunately, I have to go back to it, right? What black people have always known is that you love our rhythm, but you hate our blues. You know what I'm saying? And that is the fact of the matter, right? Is that you can dance and sing black music and turn it into what you will classify as your music and do that hip hop dance, wear that baggy clothes and Timbs and hat to the back, and you can say your words and all of this stuff, and you can pretend and pretend and pretend. But unless you are truly acknowledging, and again, many people don't know what cultural appropriation is, and so you don't get it, right? And Wu-Tang was a perfect example. Wu-Tang can't be appropriation because they ain't never tried to be Chinese. They've always celebrated Chinese culture by bringing Chinese culture to the music, bringing the language, bringing the visuals to you. Oh God, Mikey. And it's so funny because people's defense, right, is always trying to, particularly with black culture, right, always trying to kind of like what's the word? Rip it apart so that it's easy to dissect it, right? We, like, in your heart of heart, you know what hip hop fashion is. You know what hip hop music is, right? You know what hip hop language is, right? And so when somebody says to me, yeah, they was doing baggy clothes in Japan in the 80s, come on, bro, that's not what we're talking about. We're not just talking about baggy clothes. If I was just talking about baggy clothes, then I wouldn't be that was just one example. We know what hip hop culture and clothing is, and we know that it has been adopted all over the world. We know that when we see it, right? Let me tell you another cringe moment with XG. And this is just me being honest, right? The other cringe moment very early on was Coco and Juren's I think it was tapes when they were on the bus and they were rapping, right? And I didn't know much about XG at the time. So, but I had heard air of the cultural appropriation, but I wanted to, learn more about the girls and figure out because I was enjoying the music so much. But when I watched the video, it was the same kind of cringe moment, right? It was the same kind of cringe moment where I'm just like, why do you have to be dressed like that? You could say those same bars in some, other garb, but it was a costume. It was one of their costumes, right? And so I'll take it as that. I'll take it as a costume moment, right? Not truly who they are, but a costume moment. Asian appropriating black culture is what changes. Nothing stays pure, just like people. I don't know what that means. Milo magnanimous. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I mean, listen. Black culture, right? Very different than any other culture in the world, right? Because it was contrived out of one of the most horrific moments if not the most horrific moments in the globe's history, right? And so black culture is different than other cultures. It just is, right? Most cultures black culture is American culture, right? That's what black culture is. Black culture is American culture. It doesn't matter, Mike, what they were wearing. It doesn't matter the name. Doesn't matter. Ghetto culture. What is So Cal Poppy, don't be that dude. What is ghetto culture? Tell me what ghetto culture is. Let me hear your explanation of that. Please. I'd love to know how ignorant you might be, right? So please. But anyway, right? The O.R.B is one of those songs that could never be on a playlist of mine, and unfortunately, to me, it was a disrespectful attempt at doing something that they might have had incredibly good intentions of. So I understand, right? Like I can understand, and trust me when I tell you, it's not for me a end all, a be all. Yeah, I don't know, Mike. I struggle with that definition a little bit, right? But I get it, right? And so, I get where you're coming from. I assumed different, and I apologize for assuming your statement was coming from a different place. And so, my apologies, right? But I don't know if I have to think about that one and how because again, like even our Latino brothers and sisters, right? Who I consider brothers and sisters, right? Who have literally, I grew up on a street full of Black and Dominican people. So I learned the language early on in life, right? I've known Latin culture all my life, right? Latin people can be some of the most anti-Black people I've ever met. Ever. Hands down, no question about it. Even in their own communities, right? But particularly for Black Americans, they can be some of the most anti-Black people I've ever freaking met, right? And this is a general statement. There's some Latino communities that are more so on that than others. I would say, Mexican, Cuban are far close to that, where Dominican, Puerto Rican are a little bit closer to what the Black experience. But, the reality is that, for me, this is not about kind of my disdain for the girls or whatever. This is really about me caring as much as I do about what they do, right? And not wanting to see that cloak put on them of what I see from the rest of K-pop. Because the rest of K-pop, that's some crazy shit to me, right? I don't know what other people are experiencing with K-pop, but K-pop is I've heard conversations around the word nigga being thrown around in K-pop as a way to, again, wear the costume in the music and thinking that shit is okay, right? Clearly that BTS shit threw me for a loop and is more serious than most people would probably give credit to, right? But yeah, I know this conversation's not for everybody, and I don't want it to be for everybody, right? Because I know everybody doesn't necessarily care, right? I know that they don't care. And so because I know that, I don't sweat the opinions of people who don't care, right? Because it's a thing. It's a thing, right? Like we all know it's a thing, right? Many people in the chat that may not be talking about anything or saying anything, they kind of know that, what OG is on, there is some validity to it, right? There's some validity to it. He might not just be on some OG bullshit, that there might be some validity to his take on this song, Asian music, whether it's K-pop, X-pop, whatever pop, there might be some validity to it. Anyone that don't got time for it, don't care, don't want to hear about it, they've left the building, and I'm grateful for that as well, because it's not for everybody, right? Now, I do want to give the video a chance, though, right? Just because, again, I love seeing the girls do their thing, right? And again, like, the song is just something that it's just not my cup of tea, and is a little bit embarrassing for me, for them. You know what I'm saying? I can listen to anybody say anything. You know what I mean? I'm too grown for not being able to hear even the most negative shit. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is that I know people, probably came here, and I've really, like, even in the last couple of videos, I've really been targeting to alphas and zealots that aren't necessarily really able to hear a different perspective. To get I don't. And Manny, I appreciate you. I really, 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 really do. Just because, again, like, I know that for fans of XG, this kind of stuff is hard to hear. But you got to appreciate that I'm a fan, too. Just because I don't come at XG like everybody else doesn't mean I'm a fan. I still got XG heavy on the playlist. It's just their older shit. Right? Because there's not, I don't even, as a fan, it's crazy because I couldn't even sing along with one of the songs on the current album, but I know every other song front to back, right? So I'm a fan, man. I love the girls. I'm saddened by this moment, right? Because, again, like, I think this moment in the last few months has been defining. And so, I don't know. I just don't, I don't want people to think for a minute that, as far as OG goes, that I am not critically aware of, what's going on around me and around the stuff that is going on in popular culture. Yeah, and I think the Simon thing is big. I think the Simon thing is more significant than we probably even imagine. And it's unfortunate because I think Simon missed the mark on the album, right? Like, I don't know what was going on with him. I don't know what kind of frame of mind he was in. The end result is him being, locked up in jail for coke, you know what I mean? So I'm guessing that the months leading up to that were less than him being on point. I don't know, though. I don't know him well enough, because maybe it was the coke that created the other work, you know what I mean? And so that could have been it. We don't know, you know what I mean? But clearly the company is trying to turn them into cash cows, you know? Yeah. I mean, it's O.R.B is a grungy punk song, and I remember this. I remember the song. I mean, I remember that style like it was yesterday, right? I remember Blink 182 and O.R.B, and Avril Lavigne and I wasn't necessarily a frequent listener of them, but you couldn't um uh you almost couldn't ignore them because if you watch MTV, then you know if you wanted to get a couple of rap songs in, you had to go through a couple of them songs. You know what I mean? And so, uh, I get the nostalgia of the song, right? You know what I mean? But it's certainly not, in my opinion. Again, it's not gonna garner them. It's not gonna garner them any critical acclaim, right? It's not gonna garner them any critical acclaim just because it's been done just like it's almost. I listened to the song a couple of times and it's almost nothing original about the song. Anderson Paak, I think Anderson Paak is Korean, right? Korean and black. Yeah, I think Anderson Paak is. Yeah, I mean, listen, I know. So let's get to this video, right? And we can talk about other stuff later, but let's get to this video. See what the girls are talking about. See how they're vibing, and we'll talk more about the hard stuff later. Maybe we won't. Boom. Tropic Brew. What is the word? That must be a new name. I remember the picture, but Tropic Brew might be a new name. Can y'all hear that? Before I play it, I don't know if y'all can hear it because I can't hear it. Can y'all hear it? Can y'all hear it? That's the question. Can y'all help me out with it? Can y'all hear it? Okay, let me pause it. Let me pause it for a minute because I can't hear it either. But you can still hear me, correct? I didn't disappear. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, good. You didn't lose me, at least. Nostalgic like a Disney boot. Yeah, I can kind of I can feel that now that you say it. Okay, let's see. Let me try it again. No sound, no sound. No sound, correct? That might be just because I'm. Boom. Is that better? The echo is back. Oh, fucking SoCal, you bastard. Can you hear the video, though, is the question. Excuse me. Okay, bro. What up, bro? Just a video. I love seeing the girls. Look at Hanada look like Avril Lavigne, don't she? Test, test, test. Chillin', chillin', player. You missed most of my soapbox. You'll catch it on the review. It's my normal technical difficulties, bro. You know how I do. You know how I do. You can always count on OG having technical difficulties. Damn, is it really 12 o'clock? Damn. Let me hurry up and watch this video. Working on it, working on it, working on it. Manny, have a great evening, man. Take care of yourself. See you sooner rather than later, my brother. I see the vibe, though. That's a fact, right? That is a fact. 9 p.m. That's crazy. We working, man. I got my AI trying to figure it out. It got us to this point. I see what they doing though. I see what they doing. I see what y'all doing, XG. I see what y'all doing. Anyway, while we figure that out, I was nah, you know, bro, I'm it's gonna be hard for the girls to get rid of me, right? They because they're still young, right? Like they're like, you know, they're just older than my youngest and just younger than my oldest daughter. So I can appreciate kind of the stage that they're in their development, what's going on with them, right? And so, you know, but I can't ignore what I see and hear. And so, you know, for some people that is doesn't work. You know what I mean? And let's see. Sound? Do we got sound? Let me know if we got sound. Yeah, so it's gonna be hard for the girls to get rid of me, right? Just because I wanna, I'm intrigued by the evolution of them, right? Like I think that you know my opinion is that um, whenever their contract is up with this current company, that may be the end of XG as we know it, right? As we know it, there might be some people who exit and then some people who come back. Um, but I think XG is going to evolve into individuals who have interest other than kind of where the direction of XG is going. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of how my that's my vibe right now, right? Like I just feel like they're cash cows right now. They're just kind of making money for the company. I'm sure they get paid well, but you know, this touring is certainly a cash grab, and just um, kind of the decisions that the company has made over the last few months with you know, where's the YouTube channel? What's the stuff that's going on that made us care and love about the girls so much? You know what I mean? Like they didn't all of a sudden not want to do that stuff, or maybe they did. Maybe they didn't want as much screen time. But I know if you're an alpha, you get a lot more if you pay for it, right? And that's weird to me for a group that is trying to still garner support, right? So we'll see. Um, I wish them the best, right? I think if they do stay together, they become like this obscure niche group, right? Where most of their support is international, even more so Japan. Um, um, but I hope somebody sees the talent, sees kind of how good they are together, uh, and and says I want to work with you as a whole, because that would be dope. Like I can imagine like I don't know who the new producers are here, but it'd be dope if they kind of connected with somebody over here that wasn't on some bullshit and really wanted to um, capitalize on what they're good at, because they're incredible, man. And they ain't gotta be doing all this like weird. No, and it's not that. It's not them be doing weird. I just think that the business of XG has become really weird, right? Um, and so, um, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't stay weird, right? Hopefully they figure it out. Maybe Simon will get off his little hiatus and try to figure out a way back. Although I think that would be really hard as well. Um, so we'll see. My AI is not doing too well with my sound. Um,
see if that'll work.
Five, 6, 7, 8, and
Okay, that works. Did y'all hear that? I haven't heard that, SoCal. I haven't heard it. Okay, let's see if we can do screen share. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, let's see if this works.
Hey boy, I like the way you talk. I like the way you speed dial me on that phone. I like that XG when I hear that ringtone. I'm liking everything, but it's not enough. Say boy, what if I wanna ride? What if I'm in the mood and I need you right now? What if you with your crew and I needed you to bounce? Feel like you should kick it on another night. I get it. Normally I never get this crazy. My reality is all you lately. All I'm really trying to say right now is, boy, you came and rocked the boat, rocked the boat. Caught me off the beat like shaking off the streamline. Rock the boat, knocked me off that way. Boy, you came and rocked the boat, rocked the boat. Swimming in the deep, wide open in the sea. I'm off the boat, knocked me off that way. Boy, you came in hot, the way you got me hot. You turning up a night.
All right. We are kind of in business. Yeah, that's because my shit is on.
Spit up a couple nuts and I've had to drop my.
You can still hear me though, right? Loud and clear. I'm lower now.
How about now? How am I now? Now, how's that, SoCal? One day I'm gonna get this shit right. Make music great again, whoever you are. Thanks for coming back.
Nani yondenno? Punk. Oh my god, I love punk. Ray, what's up? Yay. Yeah, so cute. Hey. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Hey. Get ready with me.
Bummed out, feeling low. School's out, not even close. Caught up, I gotta go. You're the one that I'll be calling when I need a bro.
What's up though? I tell my girls what's up bro. I'm on my way, my bra. I'm walking up the front door, and Brody brought the boombox. The music's so explosive, about to tear the roof off, and I'm walling with my brosif.
Let's shake up every corner of the town to the middle of the night, like it doesn't even matter. Skip the night of class, 100 on a dash. The parties that we crash. If you don't like it, fuck you. I'm hanging with the bros. This is all we know. We living by the code. If you don't like it, fuck you. Broski, from the day I met you, you were there for me. Never find another 'cause you're my only. If you ever need me when you feel lonely, you can count on me. Yeah, I'm breaking all the glass. I'm skating through the holes. I'm speeding through it fast, then smashing through the walls. I'm with the bro squad on a boat like there's no loss, doing donuts and shooting super soakers out the Coast Guard. My brother's from another mother, I love him, we've done it all. Holding up the bro code, it's all we know, so no wonder, bro. Find strength in broheen, that's the way I was brought up. It's a new world, that's why I'm calling you girls my brother. Let's wake up, everybody in the town, in the middle of the night, like it doesn't even matter. Skip the night of class, 100 on a dash. The parties that we crash. If you don't like it, fuck you. Hanging with the bros, this is all we know. We living by
We're looking for adults 45 and under to be in our HPV vaccination ad.
That was cute. What do people think of the video? First, I want to hear what other people think, because you know I got the mic, and so tell me what you think of that video. Thoughts on the video. Echo. Tell me when I'm back to my regular voice. Nostalgia. Okay. Time travel. I like it. Seen it 12 times. Why do you like it, Mike? Tell me why you like it. Gary, why are you here, bro? You came in for that? Let me show us so everybody can see it. This is Gary. So, you know me about so I like the video, and anytime I see the girls, I don't care what they're doing, right? Because they have kind of this, I don't know, this magnetic kind of energy. I don't know what to necessarily call it, but I definitely, like, if I watch them, I smile, right? I can't help it, right? Particularly if they are doing what they're good at, or they look happy, right? And so that's always dope to see them happy and doing their thing, right? And the video for me is kind of what I wanted from them early on, like more just kind of like acting and like participating in the video, right? Not just like not just dancing and singing, right? And so I thought that was a good part of it too. So I mean, it was an enjoyable song. I think a video. I think it's one of those videos that are going to be it's going to be forgot about pretty easily, unfortunately. Like it's a like, if you know XG and you love XG, then you will enjoy this video, particularly because you don't see them and enjoy them as much as you used to, right? But it's also a video where I could see easily not getting the kind of views that, say, any of their top viewed videos get or have gotten, right? So, so yeah, so it's very nostalgic, very, very nostalgic. And, I saw what they were doing. It would have been dope if they could have had some slight choreography to it. It's not really a song for that, but because XG does choreography so well, it would have been dope if you could have saw a little bit of something like that, right? So, it was dope, but I wouldn't. I mean, where would you rate it in their top 10 videos? Yeah, I wouldn't because I don't like the song. I'll probably see the video by accident maybe one more time, but I wouldn't. It's not a video that's gonna bring me back. Yeah, I think the genre hopping is a mistake, SoCal. While it for fans it might keep you on your toes or whatever. I think it's a mistake. I think this is kind of, if you're a fan like me, you don't know what to do with XG totally. You just don't know what to do with them. You just don't know what's next, what to kind of depend. You don't know what to depend on with XG, right? And certainly if you're a new person, if you're a new person and you listen to R&B or hip hop, and somebody told you, "Yo, XG got dope hip hop and R&B," and then you hear this, then you're not gonna gravitate to them. If you say so, Mike. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I think if the girls had a choice in songs to put together for an album, right, I would argue, right, that the core would be extremely different. Knowing what I know of the girls and what I thought I knew of Simon, right, the core would have been a very different album. See, Ray, but see, for me, that's an important statement that you make, Ray. Right? It says that's a good thing about them. They do many genres really well, and the fact of the matter is, right, when you do a genre is like you develop genre. Like that's why this thing has to be just like everything else that you've heard in the early 90s. It's not genre building, it's genre copying, right? And that's not doing the genre well, that's just doing that well, right? Because genre is about kind of building on something. And that's the problem that I've had. I had the problem with the core, right? Is the core is just a regurgitation of much of what, if you're over 30, right, you've heard already. Much of what you heard already. Now, if you're a fan of XG and you're XG, and I hate to call everybody a zealot because I don't think everybody is a zealot, but I think people have zealot tendencies, right? And you can have an affinity for something that somebody you like does just because you like who they are, not necessarily because what they did, right? And that's the case with me in XG, right? Or I think the case with fans of XG. I believe that most fans, when in their heart of hearts, thought that the core would be a very different album and were disappointed by it. or don't listen to it as much. The album is not as successful as much of their other stuff. Their YouTube videos are, the top YouTube videos are still and remain heavily in the lead. Woke Up, Left Right, and Shooting Star, right? And these other songs are not going to even come close. They're not, after years and years, they're not going to meet the expectation of the fan or the fans because they're not as good, both video and music.